Hi, this is Carrie Schell from On Point Quilter. When I was perusing some of the new blocks in the EQ8 block library, I found this wonderful Christmas stocking that looked a little bit like a candy cane. But upon further reflection, I actually realized it looked a lot like the letter J, and it gave me the idea to create a quilt basically creating letters using the candy cane type of look. Let me share how I created the additional blocks with you and the quilt in this video tutorial. Okay, I've opened Electric Quilt and I'm going to open an existing project and I'm going to find my candy cane Christmas project. I've just been having so much fun creating these new Christmas quilts this year. And I'm going to select OK. So I'm going to start by finding my J block, and so I'm going to search for block patterns, and I'm going to go into Foundation Pieced, Holidays, Christmas, and there is my Christmas stocking, and I'm going to go ahead and add it to the sketchbook, and I'm going to close. Now, what I decided to do for the J block is to create some space around it. So I'm going to go ahead and create Serendipity, select Frame Block. I'm going to go all the way down on the right to find my J, and then I just want to find something that I can use to frame that. And I think I'm going to pick this one, which is actually logs plus 1/8 inch side. Now to rotate the J, I just need to click on the center space, and now I can go ahead and add it to my sketchbook, and I can close. Now for my O, I decided that I was just going to do this in Easy Draw, so I'm going to do a new block, Pieced, Easy Draw. Okay, to create my O, I'm going to set my precision toolbars at a block width and height of 6, snaps of 24, and graph paper cells of 12. And my only snapping option is going to be Snap to Grid. Now what I'm going to do is use my line tool, and I'm going to draw diagonal lines every 1.5 inches. So I'm going to draw it at 1.5, 3, 4.5, 6, and then I'm going to go back to sort of that 1.5, 3, and 4.5. So now what I want to do is draw the center square, which is really at 1.5 inches. On all 4 sides. Now I need to clean out the patches in the center, but I can't just use my pick tool to select them because it would just select the longer segment. So I find the fastest thing is to go to the Color tab, go back to the Draw tab, and now wherever my lines bisected, it basically splits them. So I can now easily go in with my pick tool, select the segments I don't want, and delete them. What I also decided I wanted is a corner similar to what I've got in the upper left and lower right, and I'm going to create one on the other 2 corners. But now I need to delete that. So back to the Color tab to do the bisect, and then I'm going to use my pick tool to go ahead and get rid of those extra segments. So now I'm ready to color. And as I looked at this and thought about foundation piecing it, I thought, this may actually be easier if I draw one more diagonal line. So back to the Draw tab with the line tool, draw this, and now when I go to the Color tab, it has that extra one in, and I'm going to go ahead and add this to the project sketchbook. Okay, I'm now ready to create my Y block, and so I'm going to do a new block, Pieced, Easy Draw, And for this one, I'm going to keep all of my settings exactly the same. And I'm going to start by creating a line at 1.5 inches, and then I'm going to create a 1.5 inch square on 2 sides, and then just a couple of half square or maybe a flying geese unit in the center there. Now for the base, I'm going to draw diagonal lines at 2.25 inches and at 3 3/4. And now I need to create my candy cane, which in essence is going to be a 45-degree angle. And so I use the dots to help me figure out, am I staying at that exact 45? When I'm doing that, notice that it's intersecting some of those dotted lines on the graph paper. Now this one took me a little while to figure out because I was trying to figure out how to reduce my number of foundations. So let me go to the Color tab, back to the Draw tab, and I'm just going to use the Pick tool and just delete that one piece, and I think I'm pretty good, so I can go ahead and color this. And once that's done, I can go ahead and add to the project sketchbook. Now I'm ready to create 2 more Serendipities, and so I'm going to do a new block, Create Serendipity, Frame Block. So I'm going to find my O block, and I'm going to select the frame. And I'm going to add that to the sketchbook. And I'm going to do the same with the Y, except I'm going to do a single click to rotate that. And I can close. I'm not going to go into all of the creation of the quilt, but let me just at least give you the parameters that I used for doing this. So I'm going to go to the Layout tab just to show you. I used a 1x3, 9-inch blocks, 1.5-inch sashings. And then for borders, the first border was a 1.5-inch long horizontal, and the second was a 3-inch long horizontal. Now in the Design tab, you can see where I put the J, O, and the Y blocks. And then what I did is I created a sashing block that was basically was 6 squares, and the block was created in a 1.5 by 9-inch space. And so I set that, and then I colored everything using the Henry Glass Believe collection. Now, one other thing I thought I would show you is the foundations. So let me go to the Print and Export, and I'm going to select the J and select Foundation. And it does the sectioning. In the options, make sure for these blocks you have the O selected so that you get a mirror image. Otherwise, your J in particular is going to be going the wrong direction. And so anyway, I'm going to go to my preview. I can select on any patch to move it. But one of the things I wanted to show you is we now have the ability to rotate foundation sections. And so I think that is going to be incredibly helpful on blocks like this. And so let me rotate that one as well. And I can keep moving these around until I get them to fit on 2 pages. And when I do print this out, only the first 2 pages will print, so it won't print these last 2. So I would go ahead and print, and then go ahead and close this. Thanks so much for watching. If you would like to actually create this joy quilt, I have free foundation blocks on my website. And while you're there, please sign up for my weekly newsletter at www.onpointquilter.com.